Have you ever wondered why people behave the way they do? Why some choices feel automatic, or why certain emotions seem to shape entire decisions without us realizing it? Psychology has a way of revealing hidden truths about human behavior, and once you learn them, you start to see the world differently. Today we begin a fascinating journey into 50 psychology facts that will completely change how you understand yourself and others. This is not just a list of random trivia. These are insights backed by science that explain the mysteries of human behavior, decision-making, and relationships. As you listen, you'll notice patterns in your own life, your friends, even your coworkers. Each fact will make you pause and think, "That's so true. I've seen that happen." So, let's dive right in with the first set of mind-blowing facts. Every small detail, from how we think to why we act, reveals something deeper. Today, we'll explore 50 psychology facts that will change how you understand yourself and others. 1. Your brain generates enough electricity in a single day to power a small light bulb. That means every thought, memory, or daydream carries real energy. It's not just imagination. Your mind literally lights up with power, making it one of the most incredible energy systems in existence. Two people who talk to themselves aren't crazy. In fact, they're smarter. Research shows that self-talk improves focus, problem-solving, and memory recall. Whispering instructions or motivating yourself during tough times actually strengthens mental clarity. So the next time you catch yourself talking aloud, you're boosting your brain power. 3. When you smile, even if it's fake, your brain releases feel-good chemicals like dopamine and serotonin. This trick can lift your mood and reduce stress instantly. Psychologists call it the facial feedback effect, proving that your emotions often follow your actions, not the other way around. 4. Human attention span is shrinking. In 2000, it was about 12 seconds, but today it's closer to 8 seconds, shorter than a goldfish's. Thanks to constant notifications and digital distractions, our brains crave quick hits of dopamine, making it harder to focus deeply for long periods. 5. Your subconscious mind controls about 95% of your daily actions. From brushing your teeth to the route you drive, most of your behavior runs on autopilot. That's why habits are so powerful. They bypass conscious effort and shape your life without you even noticing. 6. People who doodle while listening often remember more information. Doodling doesn't distract the brain. It keeps it engaged at just the right level. By drawing random shapes or patterns, your mind stays alert, preventing boredom and making recall sharper when it really matters. 7. Music can rewire your brain's emotions. Sad songs can actually make people feel better, not worse, by allowing them to process emotions safely. That's why we often crave melancholy music after heartbreak. It provides comfort, validation, and a strange sense of healing through rhythm and lyrics. 8. Humans are wired for negativity. Negative experiences stick in memory faster than positive ones because survival once depended on it. Remembering danger kept our ancestors alive. Today, this bias means we focus more on criticism than compliments, making positive reinforcement essential for mental balance. 9. Your brain can't tell the difference between real and imagined experiences. Visualizing success activates the same neural pathways as physically practicing it. That's why athletes use mental rehearsal before competitions. It trains their muscles and mind together, giving them a competitive psychological advantage. 10. When people are being watched, they perform differently. This is called the observer effect. Whether in exams, at the gym, or in public speaking, the presence of an audience can either boost performance through adrenaline or increase anxiety. 10. When people are being watched, they perform differently. This is called the observer effect. Whether in exams, at the gym, or in public speaking, the presence of an audience can either boost performance through adrenaline or increase anxiety, depending on personality and preparation. 11. Your handwriting reveals hidden aspects of your personality. For example, large letters suggest confidence, while small, cramped writing may indicate introversion. Graphology, though debated, still fascinates psychologists, showing how subtle patterns in behavior can reveal more than we consciously intend to share. 12. Humans are more likely to remember emotionally charged moments than neutral ones. That's why you can recall your first heartbreak, but not what you had for lunch last Tuesday. Emotional intensity stamps memories into long-term storage, making them resistant to the fading of time. 13. Sleep deprivation tricks the brain into overestimating happiness. Without proper rest, your brain misfires, making you think you're more capable or alert than you actually are. This false sense of energy explains why tired people often make poor decisions or underestimate risks. 14. Eye contact can increase trust and connection instantly. Looking into someone's eyes activates bonding hormones like oxytocin. That's why people in love can lose themselves in each other's gaze, and why strong leaders command respect by maintaining confident, steady eye contact during conversations. 15. Your brain rewires itself constantly. This ability, called neuroplasticity, means you can learn new skills at any age. Every time you practice something new, like a language or instrument, your brain creates fresh pathways. It's proof that change is always possible, no matter your age. 16. Multitasking feels productive, but your brain can't actually handle more than one complex task at a time. Instead, it rapidly switches focus, wasting energy. This constant shifting lowers efficiency and increases stress. True productivity comes from deep focus, doing one thing at a time with complete attention. 17. People who spend money on experiences like travel or concerts report higher long-term happiness than those who spend on material possessions. Memories grow richer over time, while physical items fade in value. Experiences also strengthen social bonds, giving them greater emotional and psychological impact. 18. When you recall a memory, your brain doesn't play it back like a video. Instead, it reconstructs the event, often filling gaps with imagination. This means every time you remember something, it changes slightly. Over years, memories can shift so much that they barely resemble the original. 19. Yawning isn't just about being tired. It's a way the brain cools itself. By drawing in air and stretching facial muscles, yawning helps regulate brain temperature. Interestingly, yawns are contagious because they trigger empathy, syncing group behavior and alertness within social communities. 20. Color influences psychology more than most realize. Blue boosts creativity and calmness, while red raises energy and urgency. Marketers use these psychological color cues to shape behavior, like using red in clearance sales to push quick decisions, or green to signal health and balance. 21. Your brain processes rejection as physical pain. Social exclusion activates the same neural regions as injury. That's why heartbreak or being left out hurt so intensely. It's not just in your head. Human survival once depended on belonging, so rejection still feels like a life or death signal. 22. Chewing gum improves concentration and memory recall. The rhythmic chewing motion increases blood flow to the brain, boosting alertness. That's why students who chew gum during exams often perform slightly better, especially in subjects requiring quick recall and problem-solving under stress. 23. When you learn something new, your brain releases dopamine, the same chemical linked to pleasure and reward. This creates a natural high that encourages curiosity. That's why learning a skill, cracking a puzzle, or discovering new information feels exciting and addictive. 24. People walking at the same pace naturally synchronize their steps. This unconscious mirroring builds connection and trust. Soldiers march in rhythm, and friends or couples often align their walking pace without realizing it. Synchrony creates a subtle bond, reinforcing unity and cooperation in groups. 25. Daydreaming isn't a waste of time. It sparks creativity. When your mind wanders, it activates the brain's default mode network, connecting distant ideas. That's why sudden solutions often appear when you're showering, walking, or lost in thought. Your brain is working in the background. 26. Your brain's fear response doesn't wait for logic. The amygdala reacts within milliseconds, often before your conscious mind even processes the danger. This instant response kept early humans alive against predators, but today it can also trigger anxiety in non-threatening situations. 27 people remember the first and last items in a list better than the middle ones. This is called the serial position effect. It explains why you recall the opening and ending of movies more vividly, while the middle scenes fade faster from memory. 28. Listening to nature sounds, like rain or ocean waves, reduces stress and improves focus. These sounds trigger relaxation responses in the brain, lowering heart rate and cortisol. That's why white noise apps are so effective in improving sleep and concentration. 29. Humans are wired to imitate. When you see someone smile, your brain's mirror neurons fire, often making you smile back. This subconscious copying builds empathy and connection, showing how deeply we are influenced by the emotions and actions of others. 30. Writing down worries before bed helps the brain relax. By putting thoughts on paper, your mind offloads stress, reducing overthinking at night. Psychologists call it cognitive offloading, and it's one of the simplest ways to improve sleep quality and reduce anxiety. 31. Music has a direct impact on mood because it activates the brain's reward centers. Fast beats energize, slow rhythms calm, and nostalgic songs trigger vivid memories. That's why a single track can instantly transport you back in time, evoking emotions as strongly as the day you first heard it. 32. Your brain consumes about 20% of your body's energy, even though it only weighs around 2% of your total mass. This enormous energy demand explains why mental tasks can leave you feeling physically exhausted. Thinking deeply truly burns calories. 33. Smiling, even when you don't feel happy, can trick your brain into releasing dopamine and serotonin. This facial feedback effect shows that emotions aren't just in the mind, they are influenced by body language. Forcing a smile can actually lift your mood, at least temporarily. 34. People who talk to themselves are not crazy. They often have better focus and problem-solving skills. Self-talk organizes thoughts, reduces stress, and boosts confidence. Athletes, for example, use positive self-talk to maintain concentration and performance under pressure. 35. The brain can't tell the difference between real practice and mental rehearsal. Athletes and musicians who visualize performing their skill activate the same brain circuits as actual training. This is why visualization is such a powerful tool for success. It primes the nervous system for action. 36. Your handwriting changes depending on your mood. Stress often makes writing slanted and messy, while calmness produces smoother, more even strokes. Graphologists study these subtle variations, suggesting that handwriting can reveal hidden emotions and personality traits. 37 people are more likely to remember emotionally charged events than neutral ones. This is called the flashbulb memory effect. For example, many people vividly recall where they were during major world events, because strong emotions burned the memory deeper into the brain. 38. Humans naturally seek symmetry because the brain associates it with health and survival. That's why symmetrical faces are often rated as more attractive. Evolution favored symmetry as a sign of good genes and resilience against disease. 39. When people hold warm drinks, they subconsciously judge others as warmer and friendlier. Conversely, holding a cold drink can make you view someone as distant or untrustworthy. Simple physical sensations influence social perception far more than we realize. 40 people who doodle while listening to conversations retain more information. Doodling engages the brain just enough to prevent daydreaming, but not enough to distract, keeping attention anchored. This explains why students or professionals who doodle often remember details better. 41. Your subconscious makes decisions before your conscious mind realizes it. Brain scans show activity up to 7 seconds before you consciously choose something. Free will feels instant, but the brain's subconscious processes are already at work in the background. 42. Stress shrinks the hippocampus, the part of the brain responsible for memory. That's why chronic stress leads to forgetfulness and poor learning. Fortunately, Relaxation, sleep, and exercise can help rebuild and protect this critical brain region. 43 people who use we in conversations instead of I tend to have healthier relationships. Inclusive language builds trust, connection, and a sense of partnership, while overly self-focused speech can signal detachment or ego. 44 dreams help process emotions and memories. During REM sleep, the brain replays experiences, filing important ones into long-term memory while discarding irrelevant details. That's why stressful or emotional events often resurface in your dreams. 45. Your brain rewards you with dopamine when you complete even small tasks. This creates the checklist effect. Crossing off items boosts motivation and momentum. Breaking big goals into smaller steps ensures steady progress and constant positive reinforcement. 46. The human brain processes negative words faster than positive ones. This negativity bias evolved to help us survive by paying more attention to threats. However, it also explains why criticism hurts more than compliments, and why cultivating positive self-talk is crucial for mental health. 47. Color influences decision-making more than logic at times. For example, red boosts alertness and appetite, while blue calms and increases trust. Marketers use this color psychology strategically in branding, packaging, and advertising to trigger emotional responses and guide consumer choices. 48. People who spend money on experiences like travel or concerts report higher long-term happiness than those who spend on material goods. Experiences create lasting memories and social bonds, whereas objects quickly lose their emotional value due to adaptation. 49. The brain is wired for stories. We remember narratives 22 times better than facts alone, because stories engage both emotion and logic. This is why teaching, marketing, and even casual conversations are more persuasive when framed as stories, rather than raw information. 50 humans can catch emotions through mirror neurons. When you see someone smile, your brain activates the same neural patterns, making you feel happier too. This emotional contagion explains why surrounding yourself with positive people can transform your mindset and well-being. And there you have it, 50 mind-blowing psychology facts that reveal how the brain, emotions, and behaviors secretly shape our lives. From the hidden power of posture to the science of dreams and emotions, these insights prove that understanding psychology isn't just for scientists. It's for anyone who wants to live smarter, happier, and more aware. Now I'd love to hear from you. Which fact surprised you the most? Was it the brain's ability to rehearse skills through imagination? Or how even holding a warm drink can change your perception of someone? Share your thoughts in the comments. I read every one of them. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button, share it with your friends, and subscribe to CS PsychoFacts for more book summaries, hidden psychology, and life-changing facts. Together, let's keep unlocking the secrets of the human mind.